edition of the Antisocial Socialite. While I'm sitting here in beautiful weather, enjoying the nice warm sunshine and things blooming, we're going to talk about a couple ugly situations right now. Yeah, that's right. Some not so beautiful things. The House of Gucci is currently being filmed right now in Italy with my girl, Lady Gaga, and Adam Driver, and it looks like the Gucci family is bullshit that this movie is taking place. So there's actually family members of Maurizio Gucci, who the movie is based upon, that are not too pleased that it's taking place. So the movie is about the murder of Maurizio Gucci, who was a co-owner and, heir to the Gucci brand throne. So I guess in March, his ex-wife Patrizia Reggiani, I don't know the name, is played by Lady Gaga. And she is so mad that Lady Gaga actually didn't come and consult her about her character and the role that she's going to be playing in this movie. It's like, no sis, you do not get a say. You literally were going through a bitter divorce and hired a hitman to kill him. And if he didn't die and you didn't spend time in prison, there would be no movie to be made. So because you're not making a profit is the real reason why I think you were so salty. Just let it go, girl. Just let my girl Gaga shine. Stephanie Germanotta, who's probably more Italian than you are, Patrizia. Ugh. You know what? Off with your head. That's probably what you did to Maurizio, which is, again, why he's dead. You're still here. But some really sad news. Prince Philip, we know, has passed away at age 99. And this past Saturday was his funeral. I watched it. It was really sweet to see lots of traditions. They were driving Land Rover that he helped design. They had his sword and his hat from spending time in the military on his casket. I mean, it was just really nice traditions that they had and sweet ways to honor his legacy. But Princes William and Harry are still not too happy right now. They were, per William, separated through the procession, and I guess a couple of his aunts and uncles are still not talking to Harry because of all the drama that took place with he and Meghan's interview with Oprah recently. So I don't know, family quarrels, I can't even talk right now. Royal family or not, there's still gonna be drama here, there, and everywhere. What are you gonna do? You gotta respect Harry. But we know that this is just the surface because there's still lots of drama going on in the royal family that we have no idea about.
You want to know what news I have?
Oh, hi Hayden. Yeah, what news do you have?
If you don't know, Nessa Barrett and Josh Richards have broken up because apparently she hooked up with his best friend, Jaden Hossler.
Who are these people? I have no... What? This is brand new drama brought to my attention.
They're TikTokers, and Jaden and Nessa came out with a song, and they were going back... Apparently, Josh said they were going back to the studio and fixing every little bit, but apparently that's not what was happening.
Oh, that's some hoe activity.
Yeah.
Oh! How do you do your best friend's or boyfriend's best friend like that? Literally and figuratively. There is drama.
Yeah.
In TikTok land.
Yes.
So are Nessa and this new boy still together?
Yes. They actually got a couple matching tattoos. But the 3 days where they're officially dating, they got 3 matching tattoos.
That is lame. 3 days? You haven't even memorized their telephone number yet, and yet you want to go get matching tattoos with them? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
They've been hooking up since January.
I don't like this Nessa girl. She is a bad influence.
I don't like her either.
Who's the ex-boyfriend now? What's he up to?
Josh Richards. He has a podcast with, I forget his name, but he's also a social media star. And Josh said he was going to figure this out privately and not do it publicly.
Like the true champ that he is. We stan you, Josh, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we stan you, Josh. Making good choices out of a bad event that took place. Man, there's some drama happening in the world right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you have any drama you got to share with us?
No.
Good. Do it privately. Learn from Josh. Learn from Josh. All right. So this week's guest, we're going to just hop right over to our exclusive interview with her, right? Yeah. She is in the Legendary Media Group. She's fantastic. We got to know each other a little bit more in this interview because we had the Sunday and the Monday groups merged, and I actually haven't really had a chance to get to know AD. Her real name is Adriana. Really pretty name, right?
Yeah.
So we got to figure out a little bit more about her, and I'm so excited to introduce her as my guest of the week. But before we get to that, we have to tell them who the Antisocial Circle member is this week. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Stay tuned. All right. Our Antisocial Circle member of the week is one of my childhood best friends, Amanda. She is just an absolute rock star, and I've been trying to get her on the show, and hopefully she will overcome her camera shyness because I want her to talk about her journey that she's been going through on her physical activities and, weightlifting and all of that, but also she has crushed it these last few years of really trying to pay down her debt and becoming debt free. And just this week, she has announced that she's completely paid off both her car and her boyfriend's car, with them saving as much money as they can, being super resourceful and sustainable. And that's really not easy with the combined 6 kids in their household. So big shout out to Amanda. And we're going to be playing with her today, right?
Yes.
Yes, we cannot wait. Amanda's coming to Boston to come chill with us. We're so excited. I know Hayden's a little disappointed right now.
I wanted to be the circle thingy, Bobby.
She wanted to be in the Antisocial Circle
again.
There can only be one.
No, I am 2 people, so I can be in a 20.
And she was on episode 31 as the Antisocial Circle member, along with a bunch of other people who helped me move in to this beautiful condo.
It wasn't just me. It was a bunch of other people.
Well, you get an honorable mention, and we're going to shout out Amanda.
Fine.
Oh, you said fine. I love her. Let's compromise. Today with me, I have Adriana Bernabel, also known as AD. What's up, girl? How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Miss Socialite?
I am doing fabulous, thank you. I'm so happy to have you on my platform to discuss, because for everybody like that pays attention to my show, we talk about Legendary Media Group all the time. I've interviewed probably a majority of the group, right? And I haven't had a chance to sit down because you've been super busy. So now that you have a little bit of time to pencil me in, I'm so excited to get the opportunity to chat with you.
Of course. I absolutely love the fact that, especially under the conditions of this pandemic, that we're able to fellowship with one another. So thank you for, again, having me on your platform.
Of course. Absolutely. It's my pleasure. So AD, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us the bio that we need to know about you.
Sheesh. Where do I start? Okay, bio. So I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. That's the city that created me. My mom's side, all from New York. So they all got this accent, the little Hispanic accent with a little New York twang in it. My dad's side of the family is from Dominican Republic, mom's side, Puerto Rican. So I'm a mutt. And relocated, moved a lot. And now I'm based out of Orlando, just graduated with my graduate degree, my master's in new media journalism.
Congrats. I know that was a mouthful. You're like, I need a nap just from saying what I graduated in. Yeah.
I need a nap just from graduating. Like, I needed to take a full 2-week hibernation because all-nighters affected my brain to the nines. It's no joke.
I know, but now you're finally done. So all those all-nighters definitely proved their worth because you graduated as salutatorian, right? So
yeah.
Yes. So I'm like, I got a smart cookie here on my show today. I'm excited.
I try sometimes,
Sometimes, as you're like killing yourself, like trying to get this work done and all that, and your dissertation, which was like 1,000 pages long, you're like,
yeah.
They want this
63, I think. 63 pages for my graduate project, and then like 6-7 interviews with professionals and experts in the field. And just thank God for them, because they are truly what made the project. And yeah, it was just about the importance of representation in the field of entertainment media. This field is it's getting to be super diverse, and there's so much that goes into it. And I feel like having that representation on and off screen is really important, and not just talking about race, but gender as well.
Absolutely. No, so I'm glad that you are like, I'm going to pave the way for other people to like really get into this industry and push, because there's, like you said, there's not a lot of representation. There's underrepresentation, I guess is a nice way to really put it, unless you're in certain markets. Like if you live in Texas or Southern California, you may see this because networks will be different. The shows that are broadcast would be different. But in the Northeast, I mean, you grew up in New York, I grew up in Massachusetts. We don't have that as much as like what should be out there. I mean, New York, yes, but like not to the extent. But
No, I know what you mean. And especially like I feel like when there are platforms like that, like it's specifically towards for that group. Like Telemundo is strictly for Latin speakers, and then BET, it's all about like Black entertainment. But I really feel like mainstream media is urban media now. Like urban media is technically more mainstream than it was 5-10 years ago. So to see that representation on and off screen, I watched an amazing interview. It was with Net A Porter magazine, and they had an interview, and it had Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy. Absolutely love that show. Gabrielle Union Wade, Gina Rodriguez, and Emma Roberts. And I love Ellen Pompeo for the facts, because her husband is Black and she has mixed kids. So she understands that there is a struggle, and she's been in this industry. She was on Grey's Anatomy for like what, a whole decade. That show's been on for forever.
yeah, since I was in college. Yeah. And I graduated in 2007. So
so it's been on for a minute. And she said, I love that there's representation like right here, but I feel like when I walked into this room, I didn't see it behind the cameras. And I want to walk into a room and I want it to look just like the outside world we live in, because this is not realistic on the platform that they invited her to. And she does not hold her tongue. So I just love Ellen Pompeo. She's a beast.
yeah, I think both on screen and off screen, she's a really good person in general. So for her to be using, I mean, this platform, but also her personal platform to really speak these truths is huge, because a lot of people are going to do it for their image, or, oh, I'm just going to keep it safe, and just be like, this is my life in bits and pieces. But it's nice that she actually gets to vocalize that, because it is true. Yeah. But you, like, do you want to be on screen more, off screen? Do you want a mixture? Because we keep talking, and in the group, and we just mentioned this before we started recording, DJ Damage is always like, AD, you have to get on the radio. You have such a dope voice. We need to get on there, which I agree. I think like if I were to listen to the radio in the morning and you were on there, I'd be interested. Some people just have flat voices, and I'm like, okay, right. I'll be driving, falling asleep, right? But you have so much more to you. So that's why I kind of want to know. I'm like going on. I just asked you a question and like going on for 2 minutes, but I want to know, like, where do you stand in terms of like being able to be on camera, off camera, split? Like, where do you stand for what you want to do?
So my first love has always been acting. That has literally been my driving force since I was little. I was lucky and grateful enough to come from my dad's side, who are entertainers. My dad, he's a musician. He can play basically like any instrument. He's a prodigy. My aunt, she was a model. Like all of my dad's side are entertainers. So they really like brought that out of me. And their personalities within themselves. So being a media personality, most actress, radio, like entertainment media, all that, like that passion, it really comes from the same place. So that's where I want to be. So whether it's on screen, on the mic, on your TV screens, in the movie theaters, I want to be versatile with it. I feel like the person I would like to compare what career I would ideally love to have is Lala. So, I mean, Lala started, y'all saw her from the beginning, hosting, and then she transitioned from hosting and radio all the way to acting. Like she power, come on.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, her career definitely is someone that I would like to mirror and mimic.
Yeah. And I think right now, just like being in 2021, we see that one personality, right, that's in Hollywood or whatever you want to call it, is never just that one profession that they
Yeah.
came into. You know, it's like Ludacris. He was a rapper. Now he's an actor. Now he's doing this.
Did you know that?
Yes. Yeah. So it's like so crazy because I'm just like, you know, and everybody, even like The Rock, he was a wrestler and now, yeah, and now he's an actor and talking about potentially like running for president, or it's like a rumored out there that people want that. So I feel like for you, wanting that versatility is an advantage that you have over other people because you're just eager to fulfill your passions. And it's not even to say, oh, I'm eager to just do everything and be rich. Like you're eager to actually go out there, be like, I'm passionate about this. I want to exercise my craft and just like have fun doing it. Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like if you could tell me I could just live just doing what I love for the rest of my life, that's what's important. Working a job that's going to pay me all this just to make me miserable, no, I'm not willing to jeopardize like my interests, my loves, and my passion. And I feel like that really separates generations, because looking at, like, say my mom started the family, they always talk about, oh, you just need to get a job, like go ahead and work, get paid, get bread. And it's like, no, I have standards. I'm not going to work for a company that doesn't value me. I know my worth. I know what I can bring to the table, and I know my value. I'm never going to jeopardize my mental health. I will quit a job, right, for my mental health and my sanity. Even if I don't have any bread, I rather quit my job because my mental health is the most important thing to me, because I see people who become miserable and depleted and a worse version of themselves because they're working for somebody that they literally just kills them. Because a company like these fast food companies, to name a few, Dunkin', they only care about, you know, their products, their customers' money, and they can get a new employee like that, you know? So.
Oh, you're still in Orlando because you just graduated and you're like now stepping into your new career, no more food services, but your new career. So tell me about some projects that you're starting to get working on now, currently working on, what you want for the future, because it sounds like Orlando may be home for just a little bit longer until you get to spread your wings and go somewhere new.
Yeah, so I honestly love this city for multiple reasons. Not only is it super diverse, and that's something that's always been important to me, is diversity. It's been a huge staple in my life, but there's a lot of opportunities here. So besides the weather too, the weather helps,
Of
you know,
course.
summertime. But no, I actually got an opportunity here for being a subcontractor within the Mirror Productions. I actually did a job within the Mirror for a pilot for a couple of shows, and one of their shows did take off onto Orlando's PBS station. Super thankful for Ramses for that opportunity. And he connected with me about a potential marketing opportunity, which would involve me doing two of my favorite things, being on camera and eating food. So I'm super psyched about that, because going to festivals and eating food, going to restaurants and just divulging into meals, like I like to throw down and I can cook myself. So seeing these just getting paid to just eat on camera, sign me up.
That is a dream come true.
Yes.
You're like, you know what? I like this route that I'm going for. Like, this is a good thing that's happening right now. I could do this for my whole career and never get sick of it.
Never ever get sick of it. Like I remember being little watching Rachel Ray on the Cooking Network and just taking notes when I was such a little girl. Oh my gosh, that used to be my favorite thing to do. I made so many recipes I would copy off of her and just like adapt them into like my life. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm low-key kind of living it now.
Yeah, because you're like, now I'm an adult and I really can like afford to get these ingredients and make my own things. When you're a little kid, you're like, Mom, Dad, can you go buy this for me? They're probably like, why do
Yep,
I have to get 3 pounds of cilantro at the grocery store? Like, what are you trying to do right now? So
exactly.
that's so awesome. Well, I'm excited for you. And then you have to let us know where we can find you. So when you're on camera doing your food critiquing, I'm like, I want to check this out and see, because I'm the pickiest eater. So maybe you will inspire me like Rachel Ray inspired you, and I will try new dishes.
100%. Just make sure you guys follow my Instagram account at Evilise88 and you will see my journey, my food, inspirations, and which places are do's and don'ts. I mean, I'm already doing that. There's this place in Orlando. It's called World of Food Trucks, and it's literally a bunch of food trucks from like different countries or different food items, and they have them all in one area together. And it's the coolest thing because all the trucks are decorated different. Some have faces on them, and the food too is to die for. So check it out.
No, that's so good to know, because I just went to this place that Lamar, who's in our group, had
Mm,
recommended to me in Tampa called Speakman Wharf or Sparkman Wharf.
okay.
Sparkman. And they had all the different, but they were stationary. They weren't like actual mobile food trucks,
Right.
but there was all these different vendors and it's just like a great outdoor space. I'm like, I love this. Boston needs something like this. So now that like it sounds like Florida's the land of food trucks, I'm like, I'm gonna have to come to Orlando and check this out.
It so is, because even downtown, like after you hit the clubs at nighttime, there's like a section right by the park with food trucks too. Like they know drunk people, drunk young people, they be hungry after they go to the club. So they have them stationed there too. So it's convenient.
That's awesome. Depending on like the certain club that you would go to in Boston, so Fenway Park where the Red Sox play, both during game days, but also there's like some clubs and like House of Blues and stuff down there. There was always a sausage cart, so like my friends would be so hammered and be like, we need a sausage. It's 2 a.m. I'm drunk and hungry. And then if you go to Faneuil Hall, which is like the historical like Quincy Market area, there was a
Mm.
McDonald's that was open. That's about it. So it's like we don't really have those like food trucks, moving around, going late night spots. Like that's definitely an area of opportunity for Boston to like be more hip, because I feel like we're so boring here.
I don't know how far is Lawrence. I don't remember. How far is Lawrence from you? Do you know?
I would say like an hour to hour 15 minutes, not too far.
Yeah, because Lawrence, I know my dad's side of the family, they are all located in Lawrence.
Really?
I used to live in Lawrence. Yeah, one
No
of my
way.
yeah, little Dominican Republic, and there's a lot of good food options if you go to the right, but a lot of good like Spanish food. So
That's good to know, because one of my friends is Dominican and he lives like just south of Boston, but
yeah,
literally all his friends and family, everybody, they live in Lawrence. So he is there 24/7. And I'm like, bro, just like go move up there, But it's like he's always going, they're always going out to like hookah lounges, restaurants, all this stuff, like anything like Dominican.
yeah.
So yeah, that's so cool. So I think you have to come back to Massachusetts and come for a little family reunion, and then we can meet up when you're here.
I do. I don't go often, but my aunt lives in Methuen, so I do go. And then I have another aunt who's still in Lawrence. And when I try, I go back to little Dominican Republic over there because that's exactly what that is. It's little DR.
That's so cute. And I've never been, so I need you to introduce it to me, and then I'll try some of the foods.
I
That's so
got
awesome. I didn't know that. I thought you were just like born and raised in New York. And then all I knew was like that you just, in my mind, this is why I'm so happy I'm getting to talk to you. It was New York and Orlando. But you did mention you've lived some other places. So I'm like, oh, you were in Massachusetts too? Like, I'm loving this. And I know that in the past you did, I believe it was an Instagram Live because I tuned in, but you were critiquing food
Oh
on
yeah,
there with your friends, right? And all those like crazy dishes.
my food
So
takes. Yeah.
I happen to grab some stuff out of my cabinet that I want you to critique.
This is interesting. Let's get it.
Yes. So it's just basic stuff that, you know, my niece is like, you need this for your house. You need this. I haven't even tapped into any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So that it's all unopened products that I'm like, oh, I want you to critique them and tell me what your thoughts about each of these items.
Oh golly, let's do it, because you know I do love to cook myself, and I always be making fun of people who can't cook. And not only, oh no, see, Ma, listen, Food Network is a thing, Google is a thing. I'm a firm advocate. All you need in life to be successful is seasonings. You get your oregano, you make sure you have your chili powder, you make sure you have some sazon, and you'll be good. You can cook anything. And onion and fresh vegetables, you're good.
Okay. I think you need to host like a cooking show and I'll tune in and then go from there. Cause I'm like, I make a bomb grilled cheese. That's about it.
I mean, you can mess up grilled cheese. So if you can make it good and cheesy.
Yeah. My big like thing is like, I can make lasagna and everybody's like, that's so hard. I'm like, no, it's not. And if I can make that and you think that's hard, I'm like, well, maybe I'm onto something.
There you go.
Right? I have to give myself some credit. All right. So the first item that I have, AD, is Nutella.
Oh, yes.
Tell me what you think about this little jar right here.
So I used to eat it. I don't advise this. Children do not do this. I used to carry, back in my big old purse carrying days, a big jar of Nutella and a spoon in my purse. And I would eat the jar of Nutella. One big jar of Nutella like would go away in like 2 days with the spoon. And when I was bored, I would just eat the Nutella. Do not do this, please, because you will gain so much weight. But yes, it's great to go with strawberries. If you want a chocolate covered strawberry and you just don't want to go through the time of like having to melt strawberries inside of a pan, I would suggest going ahead and just getting some Nutella and strawberries. Rinse the strawberries off, put the Nutella on it, and you have a great chocolate covered strawberries. It's perfect. Or if you're an in the rush type of person and you don't have cream cheese or you don't want cream cheese, make sure you get a cinnamon raisin bagel, you toast it and you put some Nutella on top, and then boom, you're on your way to go. And if you want to be a little bit more gourmet with it, chop up a banana and put that on top of the Nutella inside the bagel, and boom, call it a day.
Damn girl, because I have cinnamon raisin bagels in my cabinet too. So that might be my lunch at this point. I'm like,
there you go.
I love it. Now, this one I wasn't sure if you would fully know about, but because you lived in Massachusetts, you have to know what this is. Okay.
Oh, I have to. Okay. I was also a kid, so.
Because a lot of people in different states are like, what the hell is that? Right. And this was my brother's request that we have this in the cabinet.
Okay.
Fluff.
I know what fluff is.
Okay, good. Because a lot of people don't. They're like, what the hell do you, like, New Englanders, what is this? So that's why I was like, ooh, I gotta like pop quiz her and see.
So with fluff, I used to be like, fluff Vermont gives me very much, it's basically like, have you seen Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Okay, so the original Ghostbusters, when that big marshmallow man, that's fluff. That's what I was like, oh, this is fluff, because that's ultimately what fluff was, inside of a marshmallow. I'm more of if I really don't see the purpose of fluff. I'm gonna be real with you, okay? Because if I need hot chocolate, I'm putting marshmallows in that John. I'm not putting in any substitute. Doesn't make it. And if I don't want marshmallows, I'm gonna put some of that Ready Whip on top.
Yeah.
And mwah. But I don't see the purpose for fluff. I'm sorry.
This is why I asked. This is why I'm like, you are the foodie, so you got to give us like the critique. No, this is good.
Too fresh. Literally, you want to make a home s'more. You don't need fluff. You know what you do? Put those marshmallows. Make sure you always wet. So before you put them in the microwave, so they're not weird on the outside texture. A little trick is you run the cold water from the sink and you wet the marshmallows and then put them on top. And it's like more creamier. It gives it a more creamier texture instead of being like rough on the outside.
It's like the more you know. Wow. Didn't know that either.
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm happy I'm doing this. Damn. All right, I'm gonna throw in a healthy thing because I pulled from my freezer.
Love healthy.
Smoothie. What do you think of smoothies? These I hand make these. Like I got these little jars at Target. It's like super frozen. I just took it out because I've finished all the other ones.
Okay.
But it's like strawberry, banana, kiwi, blueberry, blackberry, everything in here. What are your thoughts on smoothies?
Okay, so it's depending on the smoothie. So another fun fact. When you are making a smoothie, if you're doing fruits or if you're doing like a veggie smoothie, the longer you take before consuming it after blending the product, the less the nutrients go away. So when you blend something, like I always try to make this detox in the morning, I absolutely love. It's you put a cucumber, a small bit of ginger, pineapple chunks, and lemon. You squeeze that up, put it in the blender, and then I strain it because I don't like the little chunky parts in the bits. So I usually get a strainer for it to like be like smooth in consistency. You have to drink it within the hour because then it's not fresh, you know? Yeah. And you're gonna lose a lot of those like important nourishments that is the purpose you're drinking those smoothies. But if you're just doing it for taste and just for enjoyment, by all means, go ahead and just
enjoy your smoothie.
Exactly. But if you're doing it more for the health side of things, you got to drink that quick. Do it fresh every time.
See, this is good information to know. You are not only just telling us about your experiences, but you are educational on this segment too.
Purpose.
Yes, absolutely. All right, I have two more things to show. People are like a little about this, but rice cakes. I have caramel, which of course I couldn't find like plain ones, but I'm like, these are great with peanut butter. So what do you think about them?
So rice cakes. I think if you're a huge avid snacker, which I am, I have a very unhealthy relationship with food. If you need something to munch on, definitely they have caramel rice cakes. The healthiest rice cake is like the non-flavored rice cake.
Yes.
So doing it for health, do the non-flavored version. But if not, I really do bang with the caramel rice cakes, the Quaker especially.
I think that's what I got. Yes, that is what I got. Yes.
It is so just like you feel like you're cheating, but you're not really cheating at the same time. So it's helpful. And again, you can just munch. But be careful if you have a delicate mouth because it sometimes like hurts like the roof of your mouth. And I feel like sometimes I'm like, ouch, it's supposed to be good for me. Why are you
This
hurting?
hurts so good. Like, ow.
Like,
come
stop.
So. I know. But no, it's like hashtag worth it kind of. So. All right, I have one more. So speaking of unhealthy, this is like one of the most unhealthy of all, but I wanted to hear your thoughts on double stuffed Oreos.
So, story time. I am guilty of being that person that everyone hates. Don't judge me for this. Contain your face because I know you're going to make a face. I am the girl in the house that gets double stuffed Oreos, but I'll lick the cream, put the cookie back and put it back in the thing, knowing dang well there's other people in the house. So when my brother or my mom comes to get the Oreo pack, my brother will take a bite. Ew, where's the cream? And he'll automatically know. He's like, Adrian. He'll go to my mom and be like, Mom, look, she freaking eats the cream. She never puts it back. And they'll yell at me for being gross, but I just can't help myself. And I don't like wasting the cracker. So I feel bad, but I just don't like the cracker. So I just put it back and hopefully they'll eat it.
You were hysterical. I love that. You're like, well, if you're going to buy Oreos for the house, get two. One for me, one for you. That's like simple. You guys eat out of one?
No, I want them to eat the cracker. I don't want to go to waste. So they just have to eat the cracker.
You are so funny. I've never heard of that before, that you're just like, I'm going to take it out, but then I'm going to put like the cookies back into it. Yeah. You're like, I'm not wasteful. I'm sustainable and I'm giving it for you guys to enjoy. But I took the part that I enjoy the most first. Can't get mad at me about that.
That's what I'm saying. And I will eat the cracker though if I'm making fried Oreos with, you just need pancake batter, make that pancake batter, dip it and make home fried Oreos. I'll do that. But if it's not fried, then I'm just eating the cream. Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry, I think.
So when I have guests and they go in my jar, in my cabinet of snacks, and they try to get something, ooh, Oreo. Why does this taste weird? Where's the cream? Oops.
Sorry. You're like, don't touch my snacks. Ask first. Rude.
Or I'll do it and hope that they get the Oreos just so they can have that experience of no cream. So
I think you should record this. I think this is actually something that you're like, I could like create content off of this, like invite friends over and just, but it's like a friend at a time, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to record their reactions of like when they bite into it and they're like, what the hell?
that's a good idea. It's a very good. I know I will be judged severely, but it's okay.
You're like, but it's good content, so it's worth it.
For sure.
So this was, I think, good practice. So when you start going out and filming for your food critique, for your new job, you're like, okay, I already know and love what I'm talking about, but with Katie, I just practice a little bit more.
Exactly.
But those are going to be like full ass meals. They're not going to be like Nutella. I'm so happy I had a chance to chat with you. And before we go, I want you to drop your social handles again, because I know that you said it, but I want to make sure that people go and check you out and follow you, because not only do you do your food, your acting, your radio, I saw your makeup page. I mean, there's lots going on. What doesn't AD do, right? So
eat healthy like I should, but
same. So it's cool. No judgment.
I'm working on it. Yeah, so you guys can go all follow me on Instagram at Evilise88. It's EVALISSE88. I'm also on TikTok, Evilise_88. You can find me anywhere at Evilise88. And that's me, guys. I'm excited.
Yes. Well, thank you for being a part of my show today. I greatly appreciate you. And any last thing that you want to share with us, like, you know, your deepest, darkest secret, or no, I'm just kidding. You're like, and goodbye. No, but anything else that you
secret. Ooh.
I know, right? You're like, where do I go? But yeah, anything that you want us to know about you that I didn't cover with you today.
So have some upcoming things that should be very interesting to look out for. If you guys don't know, I have an episode of that I was on with the WWE called Fight Like a Girl. You can check that out on the internet somewhere, because Quibi is no longer a thing. But I have some interesting things in the works, so stay tuned.
Yes, and if they go to follow you, once you actually can let the cat out of the bag, they'll find out.
Exactly, bada bing.
Yeah, girl, you are the best. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. And I know you got a photo shoot today. That's why you're looking all fly. So go rock it. And I will be sure to talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Miss Socialite. Appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Mwah.
What'd you think of my interview, Hayden?
I loved it.
Good. We love AD, don't we?
Yes.
All right. We cannot wait to see her on our screens one day in the near future, whether it's a food commercial or she's landed her first big acting role. All right. Can you let everybody know what's on the agenda for next week?
Well, next week, we're going to play a game.
And what does that say?
The Ultimate 90s Quiz.
Yes, Hayden will be my special guest next week while we dive into 90s trivia.
There's 7 categories: general knowledge, special events, sports, technology and fashion, movie and TV, music, politics.
That's a lot of categories.
Yes.
You think we'll do okay?
Yes.
All right, well
I think I'm going to win.
Oh! Excuse you?
Yeah.
I was raised in the 90s.
Okay, and?
You weren't even a twinkle in your mother or father's eyes. They were being born and raised in the 90s, essentially. Born in the very late 80s and raised in the 90s. How dare you? I'm totally gonna win.
No,
I'm
I'm winning.
I'm calling it right now. All right, anyway.
I'm winning.
How dare you? Stay tuned to next week's episode. Until then, peace.